Hey y'all, no BS. I'm Jay. I'm your host. We have Nate up in the right hand corner, and we have Tanya down below. How you ladies doing?
Hey, hey,
We
hey.
are doing
You made it. We're working from it now, huh? You see that?
cool.
Woo! Well, y'all, before we get into our topics of what's on our mind and sexless relationships, even though during this corona, I don't know why it's sexless. I think somebody fucking lying because Walmart shelves are empty, Dollar Tree shelves are empty, Target shelves are empty. Ain't no damn KY jelly, no damn where. Y'all, and they garden it like it's $1 million. And it's so embarrassing when you go in that store, they got to know all your business. When you go in there, can you unlock this case? Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, I need that KY jelly up there. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at you like you nasty.
Even the no name brand is gone. Even the Equate brand is gone. Like what's
everything? Okay. Even Dollar Tree shelves are empty, y'all. Anyway, hey everybody, hey to all our fans, like, subscribe, share us. Okay, we are happy to be back on air, and like we said, we're going to be talking about sexless relationships. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about what's on our mind tonight. Are y'all ladies ready to talk about what's on your mind tonight?
I'm ready. Let's
get to it. I'm going to start with you, Nate. What's on your mind tonight?
What's on my mind? Let me tell y'all. I've been out of the workforce. I opened up last week talking about the workforce and getting back in childcare. I ain't as young as I used to be.
Nay, I thought I told you. You got to work out just to go to work nowadays.
Oh, boy. These 3-year-olds and these 4-year-olds is whooping my ass.
Girl.
And they tell
it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, they tell you what they ain't gonna do. You know, now you being disrespectful to me. Now you being rude to me. And see the era that I come up in, you get hit in the throat. In the not throat, but throat.
In the throat.
When you get to talking like that. So I have to remind myself that we not back in them days. But with that being said, I still love the kids. You know, they gonna make me or break me. They gonna get me sent to the big house, y'all.
You forever gonna have this. If there's a child involved, Nay is right side by him, I swear.
Right or wrong.
Right or wrong. Father God.
All right, Tanya, what's on your mind tonight?
Well, it's ironic that you bring up disrespectful children. Okay, so my question to you ladies is, if you happen to see a child disrespect their parent, do you act on it? Do you say something? Do you keep a closed lip? So I have been witness to some disrespectful children to their parent. And I found myself with my mouth hanging open. I found myself on other occasions back to, you know, how you mutter to yourself. You be like, that motherfucker. You know, I'm just talking crazy to myself. But I haven't acted on it. Now, I said child, right? Y'all are thinking probably 8, 10-year-old, or maybe even a 16, 17-year-old. No, I'm talking full 48, 49-year-old to their 70-something-year-olds. So now when you hear, my question to you ladies, Nay, Jay, if you were witness to disrespectful comments, actions, do you act on it? Do you say something?
Baby, look,
anyone, y'all, let me know how y'all will respond.
I see the comments, so I'm gonna try to keep this respectful. But if you grown and you disrespecting an elder, elder, not elder, but an elder. I'm gonna ask you, have you lost your motherfucking mind?
So you're gonna walk up to him and actually speak on it. You're gonna say something to him.
I have done such a thing. That don't make me right, America. That don't make me right because it's not my
America.
Yeah, America. That don't make me right. But these same people that you disrespecting, These are the shoulders that you stand on. These are the backs. These are the backs that built you into who you are. Right or wrong, you don't have the right to be disrespectful towards your elder. And it takes me back to my job. The other day, me and my boss kind of clashed, but I did not disrespect her because she's older than me. You know, I'm 47, she's 57. Just because it's 10 years, she's older than me.
Period.
So I had to keep myself on that level. But when she asked me as a woman, like, tell me where you feel I was wrong, the conversation we had this morning, then we met in the middle. Like I said, it didn't make her right. It didn't make me wrong. But when I left work,
but you didn't disrespect her.
I couldn't say what I would say to her of somebody of my age. I couldn't do that. Oh, but if you on my level, yeah, you can get it.
Well, Tanya, I don't see how you hold your tongue. I would have lost my job a long time ago. I would have had to step in the middle because seeing somebody disrespect somebody elderly, 71, 80, and that's their parent, that's their mother, I would have to step in to say something. I couldn't stand by and see that abuse take place.
You know,
you are so passive.
It's like this. You're right. I am a passive person. You know, that's part of my nature, period. But it's at the same token, I was infuriated. I was really pissed. Like, how dare you? First of all, but there was I felt like I had shackles. I don't know what it is. Maybe that I've gotten a little older. So I'm kind of on two sides of the fence. A little bit of it was I wanted to say something. And the older that I've gotten, I feel myself expressing myself more than I would have, because usually I don't even let it show on my face.
Yeah, I was about to say, usually you could hide it, but now it's coming out now.
It's starting to come out.
That's getting older.
But at the same time, still who I am is still who I am. I didn't say anything, and I haven't said anything because why? I fear for my job. I'm not going to lose my job. Ain't nobody disrespectful ass worth my coins. So I'm not going to, y'all family shit is y'all family shit. Sorry. I mean, but if it had gotten... I would have
lost my job. You already know.
Right. I know you and they both.
They sending my black ass home. I didn't cuss this fool out right here on the job for disrespecting his mama.
Both
Let me read this comment real quick. Amber says parents let their kids talk that way to them nowadays.
I agree. You hear that more and more, but that's how we were raised. Kids nowadays aren't raised that way. You're not young people raising younger people.
But I will
kids are raised to talk back. They're allowed to talk back because now parents feel like, oh, it's important that I give my child, a voice. It's important that they have an opinion. No, that brings about confusion in the household.
I would say this, and my mother been gone again 28 years. Y'all done heard this before. In my mama's house, you ain't got no voice. You understand me?
Okay. You're right about that.
You can't talk till you turn 20. And then when you turn 20, you better watch
what you say.
You still got to watch what you're saying.
But I will say this, and this is from the heart. They have CPS for Child Protective Services. They have Adult Protective Services.
Right on. Secret little anonymous call.
I'm not going to name no names, but Cynthia done picked up the phone several times. You can tell them where I stay. I called. I'm concerned.
Nay.
I ain't scared. What you gonna do? You gonna whoop me?
Oh, you always trying to be about it though. Oh, you ain't fearful of shit.
This is Adult Protective Service. If you don't protect the elder, who the hell gonna protect the young?
And you know what? I think that if I see something go to a physical level, then that's a totally different ball game. So at that point, I'm obligated. I couldn't just let family stuff be family stuff at that point. But anyway, that's what was on my mind. I just kind of was.
Aunt Molly, the topic is sexless relationships. Now, you should have been watching at the beginning of the show. Then you would have known what the topic was.
Oh, and Molly, she trying to...
Walmart is sold out of KY jelly. Dollar Tree is sold out of KY jelly. Target is sold out of KY jelly. So somebody lying. They talking about these sexual relationships. No, somebody lying about this shit. But we gonna get to it. We gonna get to it. Hey, Molly, quit rushing.
Tell us what's on your mind, hey, Molly.
Yeah, tell us what's on your mind. We got to get what's on our mind. But y'all, guess what? We're going to get to it quick anyway, because I really don't have much on my mind tonight. I was just
really.
I got something really stupid to say. Really stupid.
What?
No sleep deprivation. Why in the hell, when you're getting ready to come on live, do you put on cologne or perfume like somebody can smell your ass through the computer?
It helps your aura, Jay. It helps your aura.
Like somebody sitting beside you and can smell you.
But it helps you be able to communicate to the people who can't see you better. That's why. You know, because if you're not smelling yourself right, then you're gonna start talking stupid, and you smell funk waves or something, you're gonna be talking. Yeah.
So it's a psychological thing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sexless relationships. That's okay. Can you do it? Could you be in one, Molly?
Okay, y'all. Let me ask y'all this before we get to sexless relationships, right? We have to make we got to point out what's the difference. We got to make sure that everybody know that there's a difference between intimacy and sex, okay? Because people get it confused, right? So intimacy is not the same thing as sex.
Yes,
wait a minute. She says, most definitely if I'm in love. Okay. Well, let me tell you something. Look, I'm jumping way off the gun, but see, my Aunt Molly, she making me just go off course now because she's in the audience talking mess. But let me tell you something. Believe it or not, people who are having sex in a relationship or even married couples can be having sex, but still are in a sexless relationship. Because women, think about it, y'all, because a lot of our friends, our female friends, they're not pleased by their man, but they having sex. But guess what they say? Guess what they say, honey? I'd rather be crying in a Bentley than crying on the bus. Long as they got security in the relationship, they good. You know what I'm saying? So they in a sexless relationship. Am I lying?
No.
I said it.
So, Jay.
Yes.
You define the difference. Well, you said that there's a difference between sex, the act of having sex, physical sex versus intimacy.
That's right. Because let me see, with women, you have, before you even get to the sex, you got to bring that intimacy. You see what I'm saying? Then you get to the sex. With a man, you're going to get the intimacy after sex. You ain't finna get it before. After sex with him, then you get the intimacy. That's the way I believe. But with a woman, before you get that sex, you got to bring the intimacy.
Nay, what do you think?
People, they do get it confused.
I do agree with Jay. You got to bring the intimacy. I can't just go jump in the sack and then let's go get it. Now, on the other hand, Molly, please forgive me. This is straight talk, no BS. If I'm out and I'm hot and I ain't had it in a while, then nigga, pull it out. Let me see what you look like. Let me see if it's clean and fresh, and I'm gonna check it out. If I'm in a long-lasting relationship, I do want that intimacy. I do want that quality time, that conversation, that cuddling. All that goes with intimacy. And it's not just about sex. And with that being said, I was in a relationship for 18 years. 9 years was great. 9 years was hell. So yes, I have been in a long-term relationship with no intimacy, but yet sex. Okay, you bust yours down, I bust mine down. Okay, I'm gonna take a bath, go to bed, get on the other side of the bed, don't touch your ass for another 6 months. It's 12 months in a year, and we might have had sex maybe 6 good times, and it wasn't.
That's a damn shame.
It wasn't oh my God, I can't be okay. Thank.
Well, statistics say that if you're having sex less than 10 times a year, then you're in a sexless relationship. So who
comes up with this stupid stuff? Like 10 times in 1 year. There's 365 freaking opportunities, and that's just the days. Because people, you've heard people say we have sex 10 times in a day.
Hold on. Hey, Molly, we have to first let people know that there's a difference between intimacy and sex. Because many people don't know the difference. They think, oh, I'm intimate with my partner. They think that they're saying that I'm having sex with my partner.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that you said I disagree. If you're having sex, it's not sexless. So what are you talking about? No, you're just going through the motion. To me, that's not sex.
No, see, okay, wait a minute. We're talking about sexless relationships that do not have sex, meaning you are in a relationship, two people together, and there's no bumping and grinding happening, period. Maybe you're being intimate, maybe there's some form of intimacy, but sexless, there's no sex. Right or wrong?
Like I said, the statistics are.
But wait. I wanted you to say, so you're saying that even if you are physically having the act, that doesn't count if it has no merit. That's what you're saying?
That's my opinion. So
Yeah,
that's
right.
what I'm saying.
Right.
So Aunt Molly didn't understand that. That's just my opinion. I feel like women are in relationships, a lot of times, and they're having sex, but they're not pleasing. They're not getting pleased. So are you really having sex if you're not getting pleased?
Okay.
You're not having an orgasm. You're still full of stress. You see what I'm saying? You ain't busting nothing. So how are you having sex? How are you getting pleased in the relationship? So that's where I say some people can be in a relationship and still be having sex, but it's still sexless because you're not getting pleased. You're not thinking about yourself. You're just pleasing that man just because you want to stay in a relationship for security. Now, so since let's rewind it back and let's get to some of the reasons why the relationships become sexless.
Nay, why was yours sexless? Why did well see, you said you had sex and sometimes you didn't. So during the dry spots, why wasn't nothing happen? No action, no.
Because I was trying to literally be that woman that stayed for the long haul, that stayed for the relationship, that stayed for the family, that stuck by my man by any means necessary, because this tide will sell out, this too shall turn, and trying to really stand on my faith and believe that, every relationship go through hard times. But it's a difference in going through a hard time, a hardship, and somebody just really putting the blame on you to why they can't get ahead, to why you all can't get ahead as a couple. And so as the woman, for me, I started feeling some type of way like, why am I going through this? It's not because I'm not pulling my weight. I was still making sure the bills got paid. I was still making sure the children ate. All the needs of the home was being met, but that so-called head of house and man to lead was not leading, but you wanted the role of the head of house.
So your partner wasn't they just didn't want to do it, or y'all were stressed about bills and finances. I agree, my girl, but when she doesn't return the same love, I just try to face my love awful. I'm sorry, Nay.
Nay,
you don't.
Nay, but I heard what you said, but I feel like a lot of people are going into relationships without purpose. You got to have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to build a relationship off of sex anyway. You know what I'm saying? When I meet somebody, when I before you, Tanya, when I used to go out with women, I would meet women who, during that infatuation phase, we're having sex or whatever, they think that we should be together because the sex was good. You know what I'm saying? Women are so emotional, they get caught up behind sex. And that's what makes them feel like, oh, I'm going to be in a relationship with this person. But the whole time I had a list. I was like, no, I got a purpose. You know what I'm saying? How many kids does she have? What's her goals in life? And if I can't make it with her, or if I can't build nothing with that woman, I would end that relationship.
So you're saying that your sexless relationship that you had maybe with some of these women was based because you had a list of priority, meaning you didn't want to just jump into something or whatever, and you wouldn't be with them intimately or physically or whatever unless they met your checklist. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Now you say you weren't. Y'all had.
No, I'm saying that's not what I was saying, Tanya. I was trying to say that a lot of people go into relationships and be in relationships because of sex. They build a foundation on sex instead of building a foundation for purpose in a relationship.
Okay, instead of building a foundation for it.
Because Nay was saying, Nay stayed in that relationship for so long, and I'm like, dang, you wouldn't get no sex, and you were taking care of everything.
Yep, and I was. But I will say this, because we are giving our personal opinions. This does not make us right. This does not make us wrong. My downfall in my relationship was I didn't pay attention to the signs because I was so busy wanting it to work, wanting that special someone to be there to grow old with. But you get those signs. It's up to you to pay attention to the signs that you're getting, because happiness, again, with the intimacy, can't nobody give you that joy, that peace, that happiness that comes from within. And he lost his manhood, his self-control to be a man, and you started laying blame somewhere else, and I took it. I took the blame. So I have to take fault in that. Yeah, I have to take fault in that myself, because I allowed it to go on for 9 years.
But what made the relationship sexless? That's what I want to know. What caused y'all not to have sex anymore?
Because wait a minute, we know that there's physical reasons. Men are the kings, or maybe sometimes queens. But I'm just saying they like to make the excuse physically a lot of times why they can't do this and the third and the fifth. But there's physical, medical. Was any of that y'all?
In his situation, it was his habitat of being physical, but he was also one of those men that didn't want to go and get it checked out to why not. Again, he started laying blame on me to why it wasn't taking place. You too this, you
blood
too
pressure
that.
Or something, you think?
Yeah, blood pressure played a big role in it. The medication and stuff that he was on. But instead of him, like I said, going to the doctor and seeing somebody about the situation, he just started throwing bullets my way. And so then it started affecting my self-esteem as a woman. I'm just going to be honest. It started affecting my self-esteem as a woman. Like, I might not be the finest thing, but I damn sure ain't the ugliest. I'm just saying, I might not be Lola Falana, but I got some ass. I will toot it up.
Hey, no, quit.
Maybe his libido went away because of the blood pressure medication.
But he wasn't willing to get to the bottom of why. And that ship just slowly sailed, because you have, if you truly love somebody and somebody's telling you that they're unhappy in a certain part of your relationship and you don't listen, you're just as guilty, because you're not listening to the needs of your partner.
Well, so Jack, wait a minute, Jay. I just got a question. So if I came to you and I said, say for instance, you know how sometimes our lifestyles are kind of really hectic or whatever, and we find that we might not be intimate or whatever for a minute. And so if I came to you complaining and telling you, well, why are we not having sex no more? And is this you cheating or some other kind? Do you get upset? Because Nate, when you said that you tried to express to him the issues or your concerns or whatnot and so forth, and he would in turn throw it back on you as the blame of the problem. So y'all weren't able to even communicate to fix the problem, to get back to the bumping and the grinding. No, Jay, so I'm asking if
I would most definitely not get upset. We would probably I had to give you some right then and there.
Quit lying. Yeah. You know what? Quit lying. You would first of all tell me I must be cheating.
Let's keep it straight talk. Keep it straight talk, no bullshit, Tanya. You get an attitude. When you don't get none, you get an attitude. So I know when you got an attitude, and I know what I got to do, regardless if I'm tired, just got off of work, whatever it is. And then you start acting right then. So I already know.
Girl,
we could never have a sexless relationship.
Tanya, all you gotta do is keep them eyelashes on. You gonna get whatever the hell you need.
Bitch, let me make sure these motherfuckers on. Look, they on, girl. Look, shit.
Now, seriously, I really think that me and you could have a sexless relationship. I mean, we have gone for a while, for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Because we do other things. We have a lot of other things in common that we like to do. That brings us joy. Okay. And me, I feel like it's more exciting when one of the people in the relationship is still horny. You know what I'm saying? When you still in heat like a dog, it's exciting for me. to see
only
your
for a
passion.
little while. Only for a little while, because then
That's
I'm
for
getting
you.
mad. Then I'm gonna get upset.
Told
But
you.
anyway, so
Okay,
we
I
you
got a
know,
question though. Say you are in a relationship, and this is a question for anybody. Say you're in a relationship and you truly do love your partner, but your partner cannot be intimate with you. How do you keep the intimacy going without making the other person feel like they're less than?
How do you still make the person feel desirable?
well,
Yes.
you got to be able to talk to each other, in my opinion, because there's been times when you brought it up. I mean, like being sick, when you're sick, physically, when you're sick and you're ill, your partner, that does not stop the sexy, the horny, the hormones. I
Right.
want you, the attraction. If all of those things are still on a positive note, it's not going to just stop. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. When your partner is sick or going through something, yes, there's that period of concern or whatever, you're taking care of them and all of that. But it still doesn't take away the needs of that other person. You get what I'm saying? Those feelings and stuff are still there. So you, as the person that's sick, has to understand that those things are still there for that other person. And y'all got to be able to communicate, because if you can't communicate and talk and find something else to do, some old creative positions or Kama Sutra ghetto, what Mario say?
Find other ways to bond. That's just it. Find other ways to bond.
Just saying, be able to communicate. You got to be able to communicate.
Because eventually, we all gonna get old, and we ain't gonna be able to do nothing.
Look,
so what you gonna do?
I'm not. I'm
what
still
you gonna do? Leave your partner then?
I'm gonna be 95 years old still.
Wait a minute.
And you know what I'm gonna do?
Wait
I'm
a
gonna
minute.
be calling somebody over. Hey, I'm gonna pay you next week to come over and please her. Because look, if I can't do it, I'm gonna pay somebody to do it.
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my ditches out and say, "Baby, you want some tonight?" Because I ain't got I'm gonna pull them out for him.
We unplugged.
I'm gonna make sure he's good.
Come on.
But really, seriously, that makes me wonder: is that the reason why old folks, when they get older, they start separating and going to different rooms?
Oh,
because
why? Because they can't do it no more? I doubt it. No,
one of them don't feel like it no more.
So what about relationships that are sexless because there's no attraction anymore? Like one person stops being attracted.
That's a relationship of convenience. That's what that is. We're comfortable where we are. We can't break financial ties. We got too much time. Baby, I can give you 100 reasons why people stay together on that level. Like, seriously. Yeah. And a lot of people, the blame go towards the kids if there's younger children in the home. You know, the kids. But I will say this: children do know when the house is unhappy. They know. I mean, my kids told me as adults, like, "Mama, we love you. We're gonna always respect the old dude because he was there when our own biological fathers wasn't there. But if you go back to him, we done." And as
Mama said. I'm sorry. Aunt Molly says you will have the desire, but nothing is gonna happen. Laugh out loud. Tell me when you get older. Okay, y'all. I want to bring in a man because I want to get a man's opinion because I want to know what could a man survive in a relationship if it's sexless, and what makes a man become sexless in a relationship as a partner when he's with a woman. Maybe he gets turned off by the woman. I don't know, but let's get a man's opinion real quick. Welcome, Mr. Harvey.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
Harvey.
All right.
Harvey. I know you hear us up in here talking about all this sex talk.
Cackling like old women. So,
we want to get a man's perspective. I want to know, what are some of the reasons why men get turned off by women in a relationship, in a long-term relationship first? Tell us that.
When you say, wait a minute, Jay, I'm sorry. When you say turned off, are you just saying that physically attracted or just no longer want to have sex? I mean,
no longer want to have sex. What makes a man no longer want to have sex when he's in a relationship?
Oh, that's a hyper. I think one of the reasons, I think it's probably because of the relationship. There may be like issues going on in the relationship. And
When you say issues, what do you mean?
like sometimes men can be in a position where they feel like, you know, they're the only one that's putting forth an effort, and the woman is not putting forth she's not doing her part. And I think you know, that can, not just this from a sexual perspective, but also overall, that could be a reason that can push the relationship far apart. And we know that if a relationship starts falling apart, one of the things that falls first is the intimacy.
Well, I have a question on that note then. Well, what do you do if the male counterpart, if you're doing what you think you should do as a female, as a wife, what do you do when you feel like that man is not attracted to you? Like you're doing what you're supposed to do to keep the house together and try to make your home happy. What do you do? Like, do you just give up and walk away or what?
Well, I think that, well, I think with everybody has a role to play. You know, you have a role to play. He has a role to play, or a part. You know, we have our own part that we have to play. And unfortunately, if I don't know, from my perspective, I would say if the man is he if he's not doing what he's supposed to do is from a intimate perspective, then I think there are ways to to bring that fire back. So I think it has to start with conversation. So the first thing has to be done is
Exactly.
some type of
Exactly.
conversation, because a lot of times, you know, I Nay has been knowing me since I've been in Dallas 25 years. And the thing about that, you know, every now and then when I'm talking about something, I always go to scripture. And, you know, the Bible says you have not because you ask not. Sometimes you have to ask questions to find out what's causing this. Because a lot of times we may not even know. You know, the man may see it from one perspective and the woman may see it from another perspective. So, what I mean is that the man, he may not even know that he's neglecting the
Falling
woman
short.
because of what's going on with him. There could be something going on with him, and he's not explaining or he's not having a conversation with his woman about it. And so it's possible that that could be leading to the reason why he's doing. So I think personally, I think that you have to first you have to talk about it, because if you don't talk about it, you don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know what he's going through that's leading up to the reason why he's doing the things that he's doing.
But
So
that's
I
what I
think,
was saying. So many women, they don't talk about it. They just continue in the relationship and don't say nothing. They rather go out. They rather go out and cheat
You
or
said
be with
that.
somebody else.
yeah. I
And
mean,
I'm
you know,
absolutely I'm quiet because some of the points that he's making as far as not making rifts in my past relationship, I was that woman to sit back and say, okay, I'm not gonna say nothing about it this time. Well, I'll wait and talk about it next time. And the time just kept going on until at the end of the season, hell, 9 years, I was ready to kill him because I
So
wasn't speaking up in the beginning. Had I spoke up in the beginning, either our relationship would have severed before the 9 years, or it would have gotten better. But either way it go, because I was that woman that did not speak out about being unhappy for the sake of trying to hold a family together for my children, it didn't work, and I ended up miserable.
yeah,
you know what,
Okay.
Mr. Harvey, you said that one of the issues why maybe that there's it ends up being becomes a sexless relationship, or why from a male's perspective you're not no longer attracted or not wanting to be intimate or whatever, is because you feel like your solo effort, you're putting in more effort than the other person is, and it turns you off in a way where you feel like, well, I guess maybe you're just frustrated. I think if that's a male perspective, females also feel the same. I mean, I feel like we do too. You know, when we feel like we're the ones that are carrying the brunt of everything, you start looking upside your head like, what are you, what? And yet you want to, and then the male wants to come, or whoever your partner wants to come to you and still want to be intimate. And you're looking at him like, really, how can we do that when I'm stressing about this, that, and the third? You wondering if we finna knock boots tonight? Like, really? No. So I think men and women both share that perspective.
Yeah, it's a two-sided event. It's from two perspectives. It takes. I mean, it took two to make it work, so it's gonna take two to keep it to continue to work.
So, Harvey, could you be in a sexless relationship?
I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
Oh, that's the question of the night.
Evidently,
that's the question of the night.
Answer the question.
Can
any man be in a sexless relationship?
I'll just say it from this perspective. I don't think nobody. So, first and foremost, the relationship cannot be completely built around sex, but sex plays a major role. Mm-hmm. It does play a major role because that's that soul tie. That's that intimate. Those are those intimate moments that take place between you and your partner. So sex plays a role in the relationship, but it's not everything. Now, the answer to your question is, could I be in a sexless relationship? I would have to say, if I'm married, then I have no choice. If I'm not married, there may be a different perspective, because
marriage is the definitive line in it. Marriage,
yes, because I think that if I'm married, we went. This is something that was tied together between not just us, but also with God. And so, as a husband, it is my responsibility to keep the family together. A house divided will not stand. And so I'm the breadwinner. I can't say the breadwinner, but I'm the leader of the pack. And so if I'm the leader of the
house, go with that.
Then why you think I should go with that? That's another show. That is another show.
Man,
Father God.
Let me say myself real quick. Shit.
Baby, that's gonna be the next show right there.
I gotta say this. Y'all always wait a minute. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
always think that y'all gotta be the head of the table, the head of the household. Nowadays, times are more modernized now. Now there's women sitting at the head of the table.
Save it, Jay.
I'm gonna save it, Jay. To put it out there.
Now, what's that color purple line? You're sitting at the head of your what? Say it, Jay.
Sitting at the head of your table, acting like the waiter.
So my response to that is, if you have two heads on one body, you have a monster.
Oh God!
We ain't gonna get in that. We can't get into that though. That's another topic on Straight Talk.
Y'all have no idea. We just had this conversation.
Ooh, you mean
that? Anyway,
because now let me tell you something. It's so many men.
So
I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna end that topic. It's so many men nowadays that sitting at home with the apron on, taking care of the kids, while the woman going out and bringing home the bacon.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right.
But
the man is not always the head of the household.
Well, when you talking,
we can't go there, Harvey. That's another topic. That's another Straight Talk topic. Okay, I'm gonna jump to Tanya real quick. Tanya, could you be in a sexless relationship?
No,
I didn't answer that question.
No,
I didn't answer your question. I didn't get to answer the question.
Let the guest. Let Mr. Chestnut.
He said that he couldn't. Go ahead, Harvey.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sex plays a major role in the relationship, but I believe that if you're married, then you have no choice but to deal with it, and you have to find a way around it. If there's no sex involved, then you have to find a way to complete those intimate moments. But
okay, but I didn't mean to cut you off. Oh, go ahead.
I disagree.
Go ahead. Sorry.
My answer at this point would probably be no. I'm gonna have to say,
Didn't if I'm not say married, that 10 minutes ago? I know that man.
Okay.
If I'm not married, I'm gonna say no.
So we wanted to know, that was your personal opinion. Now, from the perspective of men in general, what would you say? Would most men take 10 men? 10 out of those 10 men, how many of them do you think? I mean, that's a small percentage, but I'm just saying.
How many? I would say all of them.
Could not be in one, or could?
Probably would not be in one. If they're not if sex is not involved, like I say, it plays a major role in the relationship. And we all have a desire to be satisfied from an intimate perspective. So I would say it's going to be a very high percentage of men who most likely would say no. And a lot of it has to do with age also, because when you're younger, like, or let's go up a little bit. When you're older, men, we don't have sex as much as we did when we was younger, because from a scientific perspective, our testosterone level decreases.
Well, women are different, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Women, when we hit our 40s, boy, it's on and popping.
No, I agree.
It's on and popping.
Yeah, I understand.
Evidently, you're the only one that thinks that way, because yours thought that. Remember, he mentioned the same thing as far as men being preconceived or having sex, gearing them up from childhood to wherever. So they look at it when they're young as almost the most important thing, but as they get older, then it kind of. Anyway, go ahead, Jay.
I'm gonna read. Tanya, read this comment, and then I have something to say.
Okay, sex toys, problem solved 90% of the time. Communication about wanting to bang solves it 90% of the time. Knowing how to please your partner solves almost everything. Satisfying your partner's kinky fetishes, whatever, everything is good. Opening the relationship to other people and or sharing is also a game changer. And keeping religion out of it will also make everything 10% or 10 times better. I've never thought of God while banging a woman, even while being married for 15 years. Well, okay. Jay, your comment on that?
Now, I have a question.
I don't think many people do when they're in the moment anyway, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I'm not gonna be thinking about that. You might scream it when it's time. Father God.
Ain't that crazy? What? Okay.
No, but seriously, y'all. If you're in a sexless relationship with your partner, would you agree to let your partner step outside the relationship to please themselves, or would you be selfish and say no? You can't please yourself, you're selfish because you still say I'm not gonna have sex with you. That's being selfish.
That's not so.
So your question is, could I allow you, Jay, to step outside the relationship because I can't give it to you? I can't please you, so I'm gonna let you go step out and go be with somebody else.
I'm waiting on that answer.
Is that what you said? That's your question.
I'm asking, would you, if you agreed, if you said, Jay, we're not going to ever have sex again. Mm-mm. And I say, well, can I go have it with someone else, or can I?
Hell no! We need to go ahead and go to sap. What's the damn song? Girl, I can't even get it out. No.
So the solution would be. So I have two responses to that. Response one would be no. And then if I feel like no is the answer, then I have to come up with a solution on how I can satisfy you then, if that's the case.
Wait a minute.
Remember I said, if you agreed, if you said, I don't want no sex in a relationship, so will you allow your partner to go out and have sex with somebody else? If you say, I don't want sex in a relationship right now, would you allow them to go out and get pleased, or will you be selfish and say no? You can't do it.
Well, I would say no, and then also that's not a relationship, because we know that sex plays a major role in the relationship. I would say no.
Okay. And you know what? Me and Tanya, we debate that all the time. I don't think that sex plays an important part in the relationship, but she says that it does. But I feel like you think that because women are always emotionally tied behind sex. Wait a minute. If you give it to a woman good, everything is all good.
No, that's not true.
Most men, after they do it, that's just it. But with women, it's a whole different type of playing field and fantasy world that they in.
Well, this is for me. First of all, I'm not gonna never look at my significant other and tell him we ain't getting it in. The devil's a lie. That's just one. Number two, if I do wake up and something doesn't hit me upside my head and I'm still not gonna get his old ass permission to go out and be with nobody else, because they're gonna find your body parts in different parts of different states. If you think you finna go out and share what's mine.
Just saying, like, wait a minute. Okay, wait. That question does make me say, what if for some reason you found out you had a medical condition that now means that you cannot have sex anymore, right? So now you don't want to have sex anymore, but your partner, your partner wants to. Would you allow them to
So
go?
We're gonna go to the best sex shop, and I'm gonna buy you everything
In the country, like
that
everything.
you need to make sure you stay in. You as an in-house nigga, you can't go nowhere.
Oh my God.
I ain't gonna be able to. And I must say this with all open heart. My significant other is much older than me, but that doesn't mean that I'm not sexually attracted to him. So to see him go be with somebody else in that way, I'm not gonna never give my significant other permission to go step out. I wouldn't care if I had Alzheimer's and 5 pairs of dentures. You better get over here and sit down there.
You better do something.
Tanya, I asked you a question. I asked you why is sex so important in a relationship? Because like I said, women are so emotionally tied to sex. I want to know, why do you feel like it's just
can I say something about that? Can I say something? And when you say women,
go ahead, but I won't tell you to answer that after you.
Okay, men are too. I give an example. A lot of times, like say for instance, if a woman, she's tired of a man's mess, he's been cheating on her and all that stuff, and then she decided to go, leave the relationship, and he decide he want to make it work, but she finds somebody else, and so men, we will sit around the house, we get miserable when we can't have what we thought we had because it's gone, and what goes through our mind emotionally is those intimate moments. So men are emotionally tied also. Even though we may not display it like women do, we're still emotionally tied. We think about those intimate moments. That what runs us crazy is that I know what you sound like. I know what you taste like, and that goes through our mind, so we know. So we're caught up in that also. It's not just women who are emotionally tied to a relationship, but men are.
But I think, Harvey, I don't think y'all don't get caught up behind that until you lose the woman. But if the woman's there beside you, you don't get caught up behind it. But a woman gets caught up behind it while she's with that person.
Well,
that's the difference.
That just
men are like, I miss this woman. You know what I'm saying? They ain't thinking about that when they with the woman. But
that depends on who the man is, because you have to judge. Everybody has to be judged accordingly, because some men, like me, I'm faithful, straight, and so because I'm that way, that's one of the things that keeps me grounded with our relationship is my, the fact that I know that I have this intimate sexual access to this person without rebellion.
All right, Tanya, now answer the question.
Look at her. She ready.
So, I mean, you're saying like, I feel like it's an end all be all, and it's not end all be all. It's really not, because in sex, the physical act is just a drop in the bucket of all of it. It's just there's something about laying with you, being beside you, feeling your skin, seeing your smile, feeling how you touch me.
That's the intimacy.
The smell.
That's the
intimacy. That is the intimacy, but it's still sex. So
no, it's not.
No. What I'm getting at is the feelings that are brought about because of this closeness. It's like nothing else in the world that matters in this moment, because my soul is open, your soul is open. Because I think for people, majority of people, especially maybe more so women than men, maybe, but I feel like, when we lay down like that, yeah, I'm not saying there's not times when it's just a quickie as get it, whatever, we satisfying the need, let's get going. But for the majority of the time, there's that connection that's there. It's a connection. It's already something that's there. So whenever we're actually doing the physical thing, we're bonding, we're fixing, we're mending, we're sharing. So it's not just the act, and it's not the end all be all. It's all of everything that's connected to it. It's leading me to be like that. We're fixing each other. We're connecting to each other. My soul's connected to yours. There's just a lot involved with it to me.
So
to where
why
it's
can't
not,
you be connected? Why can't you be connected without the sex?
no, there is the connection in those other things too. I'm just saying sex brings about a lot of that same stuff. You get what I'm saying? We could go out to go feed the ducks, and there's still a measure of intimacy. There's still a measure of that connection, that bond, that bond. You know, that same thing that we did when we actually physically hooked up. There's still that there because our partnership, our love, our sharing, we're sharing each other still. You get what I'm saying? So it's not just the physical thing, the physical act. It could be associated with something else too. It doesn't have to just be that. So sex isn't end all be all. It's just the feelings that are associated with it.
I think
They tie.
if you don't have some type of attraction to a person, you're not going to have the intimacy anyway. I can't sit next to you or go out on a date with you or anything of that nature and not have that bond with you to even see if we can get to the intimate stage. Just because we can go out and have an adult conversation doesn't mean you're going to get the panties. Just because we go out on a couple of dates and you take the kids to Popeyes and get some chicken, and that don't mean you're going to get the panties. I got to make sure that you and I have some type of relationship where we can talk to get to that level. To me, that's what
that was the whole reason why I said I feel like it's important that you go into a relationship with purpose. Minus the sex. Don't go in trying to build a relationship to try to build a foundation off of sex, because it's not going to work.
So therefore, basically, by what you're saying, is if you've built that foundation, you therefore can sustain a sexless relationship if it ever happened to get to that point.
Yes.
Yeah,
Touché.
I agree. I think
Touché,
that
Jay. Touche.
I agree that sex will be it won't you have like different levels that you have to have in the relationship, and when you're meeting someone and you have some type of interest in that person, the overall goal is, what do y'all both bring to the table?
You can't be just bringing the chairs to the table.
Yeah, are we in this just for sex? Or are we in it at my age? I speak from my age. I'm not in it just for sex. I'm in it for the long run, or the long haul. So anytime you get involved with someone, if it's just about sex, then make it about sex. But if it's about other things, some type of accomplishment, if you want to be with this person for a substantial amount of time, then you have to work on the actual relationship first, and then the sex will come later.
Do you think that being in a relationship where once you might have had sex and maybe y'all were hot and heavy for a while, and then time happens, because it's inevitable, like, that's pretty much the honeymoon phase or honeymoon stage where everybody's hot and heavy, things fizzle out, life happens, reality sets in, sex becomes less and less and less frequent. So then, that being your status now, do y'all agree or disagree that it forces you to try to really see who you guys are, like who each one of you are? Meaning, like, the importance, like you're forced then to kind of stand on your foundation, whether it's a real foundation, it's a strong foundation, if it's rocky. I mean, then don't y'all think the lack of intimacy, sex, whichever one, I'm just saying, when it starts to be less and less, doesn't it make you see now? It's like the blinders have come off the little.
Yeah, especially when you've been in a relationship for like 12 to 20 years. You start seeing who that person is, because sex no longer matters anymore. The thrill is gone. Sex is over.
Thrill is gone.
Now it's like the blinders are off, and now you see who you're really with. Who you really in the relationship with now.
Here's me.
So it's important that you are able to communicate and have a bond, a real bond. Again, have purpose in the relationship.
But that's the person that I want to meet. I don't want to meet the person that thinks because you wiggle my toes or because you can buy me a Happy Meal that's going to be my life. I want to meet the person that's, when we going through Struggle Valley, we going through it together. I want to meet the person, if we eating ramen noodles, which I eat a lot, goddamn me. But if we eat ramen noodles, we eating them together. I don't want to meet the person that thinks Because if you put me on eggshells every time we're in the room, then you're not, I think, authentically being yourself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I want to get to know you, your inner you, not just you, and because you think you can take care of me, because we're here to help each other grow. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So tell me, how can you keep a sexless relationship going?
Faith.
Conversation.
Yeah, I think it's really about commitment. Are you committed to this person? If you're committed to this person, then you have to find alternatives, because sometimes it could be, like I said, it could be the person the one that's not having sex. There could be a physical reason why that person can't have sex. So it has
communication. Yeah.
So it has to be about communication. Can we find a way around it? But going outside of the relationship, to me, is going to be detrimental to the relationship, more so because now you have ammunition to fight with. And I just think that going outside of a relationship would not be a good option, even though a lot of people do it. People have open relationships, but me personally, this is just anytime I speak, I only speak from my perspective. I'd go crazy if I knew my woman was sleeping with somebody else.
Most people would. Now you know what, Jay, put I don't know, the comment that was right before that. I thought that was really nice. When I first met my other half, we didn't even kiss till about 6 weeks in. So our relationship is built on a deeper connection. I thought that was nice, really nice. Make them wait for it. Make them wait. Don't give it to them. Give them the draws right on.
Back to 1970.
Okay, Steve Harvey. You giving that Steve Harvey rules. Make them wait. Make them wait.
Right. Oh, wow.
So when we go, so when I take you to Red Lobster, do I
don't get no panties.
What I'm saying is when you talk about make them wait, so do I supposed to wait and take you to Red Lobsters? I wait till we get into a serious relationship.
Ain't that something? What does Red Lobster got to do with it? What the hell?
He said, so now you're paying for ass now, right?
No, what I'm saying.
So you're saying if I take you somewhere, I need the ass?
No, it's the Red Lobster. Because see, if you went to McDonald's wouldn't have warranted no ass.
No,
but since you dropped a coin or two at Red Lobster,
now you
got to give up the goods.
He done got
Let me finish. What I'm saying is that when you say, well, I need to make them wait. So when does a man, when does he, he's in a position, or when in a relationship, does he supposed to start doing things like taking you shopping?
You're supposed to do whatever's on your heart. If you feel like you should feel like you want to spoil me and take me to go to whatever you feel is going to make me feel special as a woman, or make me feel like I'm appreciated and you're showing me. No, you do it when you feel like you should do it. Absolutely. Now, the intimacy, as far as me giving up my draws, that ain't got nothing to do.
But see, I'm not
with
even
how
talking about
attention you show.
I'm not talking about that. So you agree? I agree with you. You do what's on your heart, right? But a lot of times, in the past, I can only speak on in the past, I've met women who have this expectation on what a man's supposed to do, even though they're not in a relationship. You supposed to take me shopping because I got a good job, or you supposed to do this here for me, but we're not in a relationship. So, but if I come to you and okay, say for instance, and I'm not saying I do this here for you to open your legs and have sex with me. But if I'm taking you, I'm taking you to this fancy restaurant, I'm paying your bills, I'm doing all this stuff, and then all this stuff only supposed to take place before the relationship or after the relationship is established.
Best friend, I'm gonna tell you.
Whenever you want to do it. That's what I say. Whenever your heart feels like you should, if you want to spoil that woman, spoil that woman.
True.
But don't expect anything in return.
So that's my
point. Shouldn't either. Let me say that from both sides. And some women are gonna get upset. I'm 46 and I'm on camera and I'm on live and I don't give a damn. If you out there looking for a gold digger, you make it hard for real women that are looking for long-lasting love life relationships to find those type of men because you out there digging for gold. If you ain't coming into a relationship trying to put into that relationship what the opposite sex is trying to do, then don't get into that type of relationship. Period. Don't date a guy because he makes 6 figures. Date him because you're really interested in what y'all have chemistry. You know, and
well, Nate, that discussion shouldn't come up in the first few dates anyway. I'm not gonna tell no woman how much I make.
But you know, unfortunately,
I'm gonna meet that woman broke, disgusted, and busted.
But unfortunately,
we want the Wendy's.
But that, you know, that's easy said, because a lot of times, you know, men, we meet women and they have high expectation of us. You know, women have high expectation of men. You know,
men have high expectations of women too. The way the world is now, y'all looking for. I think it's about the equal balance, but it should be. Expectations in relationships or in dating are amazing, and I think that's a topic also for discussion.
Yeah, everybody, we all should have some type of expectation. Because if I'm getting involved with you, I want something out of it outside of sex. Sex is great, but I want more than just sex. You know, I want.
And with that being said, I'm gonna go right back to it, ladies and gents. When you're going into relationships, go into the relationship with a purpose. Okay, not just for sex.
Amen.
All right, then your relationship.
Wait a minute, though.
Then your relationships won't become sexless.
Wait a minute, Confucius. You never you never hit on the topic and answered the very question. Could you be in a sexless relationship?
Oh, of course I could. I've always been in love with intimacy, so I'm good with that. Laying next to you, feeling you. So yes, I could.
You ain't gotta make her blush on camera.
No, that's the God honest truth. I could.
I
can lay beside you forever and be satisfied and never ever have sex with you.
I can see that.
Because I'm in love. I'm in love with this.
Well, you know, women,
and we got so much that we bond over. So yeah, I could.
All right.
Now
we got so much in common that we wouldn't even have time to think about sex because we'd be doing so much. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I think it's easier for women. You know, the reason why I think it's easier for women is because God didn't create the man for the woman. He created the woman for the man.
What does that mean?
So I think
I'm gonna be messy before we leave, y'all. What does that mean, Harvey? I got to be messy.
Because the man was the one who was alone.
Right. I just want to see if he was gonna say that out loud.
Yeah, the man was the one who was lonely, and God created the woman.
Oh, I know, Sandra. I know, girl. I know, girl. Okay.
So,
go ahead, Harvey.
All right. Do y'all have intentions of having like discussions about, you know, like issues that affect the Black and brown community?
Of course.
So, for instance, give us an example.
Criminal justice system. I mean, I can go on and on.
So. All day long. You know, I can get on that.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Definitely.
That's gonna be some That's gonna be some topics that come up. But I like to say that we hinder our own selves. We mess up our own culture. We are in our own way.
Yeah.
But that's some other discussion.
Well, when you say when you talk about Black people,
yes, most definitely.
Well, I disagree with you because the system was designed. The system was designed for that. You know, it was designed for us to step in our own way.
Of course it was. But you know what? If we build our own, then guess what? Can't nobody step in our way.
To a certain extent. You look at the Civil Rights Bill. I give an example. In 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. And it so-called freed the slaves, which it really didn't, because it didn't. Because 1865 was when 13th Amendment was ratified, December 6, 1865. At that time, Black people made up. It was estimated that there was about 4 million Black people in America. We was worth less than 1% of the nation's wealth, and the only reason for that is because of what took place during Reconstruction when Confederate soldiers decided to leave the land, abandon the land when they fought against Union Army. and the Freeman's Bureau gave a lot of that land to the slaves, former slaves. So with that being said, we was worth less than 0.5% of the nation's wealth. Right now, today, there are over 700 billionaires in America. Only 8 of them are black. And we have many millionaires, but we're still worth less than 1% of the nation's wealth. So it has nothing to do with what we got in our way. It has something to do with what we call systemic racism and white supremacy.
Now, I'm gonna have to stop you guys.
Disagree.
This conversation has to be elaborated on and expanded on. It has to be.
Yeah, we're going to continue this conversation. Okay,
Right.
You
on
and
another
Julie
Straight
love
Talk.
that.
Everybody,
Yes.
thank y'all for tuning in to Straight Talk, No BS, and joining in on the conversation of sexless relationships. I enjoyed everybody. Make sure y'all like, share. Okay.
Let us know how you feel, and everybody that's watching or watches this in the future, let us know what you want us to talk about, what you want to expand on, what you want us to drop us something, give us something. Let us know what's on your mind also.
And y'all, if I got a little bit off the topic during the conversation tonight, that's because I'm wore out. I worked a 14-hour shift and I'm tired. I try to stay on topic, but y'all know I get to run in my mouth. And anyway, I enjoyed everybody. Your head big too, baby. I feel so baby. Okay, anyway.
Okay, they got all the way out y'all, but check this out.
Let me get off topic.
Okay, look here. Whoopi, calm down. Every Thursday night at 8 p.m., we will be back on this screen.
Yes.
Us, like, subscribe, and share, please.
Thursdays at 8
p.m.
And y'all, before we go, I want to say happy birthday to Taz. If you watch
happy
birthday, girl, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Hey!
Thank you, Mr. Harvey, for coming on.
Thank you, Mr. Chestnut. Thank you, sir.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. This has been Straight Talk, No BS. We love y'all. Y'all have a good night. See y'all next time.